and welcome back to Rewiring Neurons. So in the last few videos, since we have started the series of emotional intelligence, we have been talking about few facts and myths. We also talked about few facts related to emotional intelligence. So in today's video, we are going to start off with what is emotional intelligence, right? And then what are the components of emotional intelligence, and we are going to deal with all these things in detail. So a little background as far as emotional intelligence is concerned. This term literally was born by the work of Mayer and Solvay way back in 1990. So उन्होंने सबसे पहली बार ये टर्म यूज़ किया इन वन ऑफ द रिसर्च पेपर्स. बट ये टर्म बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलर उस टाइम नहीं हुआ. The credit for the popularity of this term goes to Daniel Goleman, who started using this term, popularizing this term, in fact started talking about emotional intelligence on a lot of platforms. So the credit for making this term popular goes to Daniel Goleman. So if you Google it out, you will always see emotional intelligence associated with Daniel Goleman because he literally popularized this term. As I said, the term was coined by somebody and it was popularized by somebody else. Uske baad, there are a lot of research which has been done on emotional intelligence, and there are a lot of people who have gave a lot of components of emotional intelligence. But in our videos, we are going to discuss the components of emotional intelligence which was given by Daniel Goleman. So Daniel Goleman said that emotional intelligence consists of 5 components. And the 5 components namely are: the very first is self-awareness, the second is self-regulation, the third is motivation, fourth is social awareness, and fifth is social regulation. So Daniel Goleman ने बोला ये 5 components of emotional intelligence हैं, and if a person wants to become emotionally intelligent, they need to deal in detail with all these 5 components. And as I said, there are other theorists who have given their own models of emotional intelligence, जहाँ पर उन्होंने इन 5 components को भी bifurcate किया है, and they have literally made some sub-components of emotional intelligence. But we are going to keep it as simple as possible so that we are able to understand and have some takeaways from this series. As I said, when we follow Daniel Goleman's model of emotional intelligence, उन्होंने कहा था 5 components होते हैं इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस के. सो द वेरी फर्स्ट component is सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. बहुत ही सिंपल सा टर्म है, एंड आई एम श्योर इफ आई से हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर कॉन्फिडेंट दैट यू नो योर सेल्फ, आई एम श्योर most of you will say yes, we know ourselves. So I believe you on this, but having said that, I will also like to know, with the help of one example, ki if you say that you know yourself, just try to do this with me, right? Just remember an incident, right? Any incident which happened recently. For example, if you got angry, right? Let's pick this up. If you got angry, what did trigger you? The very first is, what was the trigger which made you angry? Second is, once you got angry, what were the thoughts which were going in your mind? Third is, once these thoughts started going in your mind, what was your bodily reactions to it? Bodily changes means ki what changes were brought by this trigger to your body, मीनिंग देयर बाय कि आपका हार्ट बीट तेज़ हो गया, और प्रोबली आपको स्वेटिंग आने लगी, और प्रोबली आपकी बॉडी का टेम्परेचर राइज हो गया. सो व्हाट हैपेंड, राइट? वंस दिस ट्रिगर वेंट इन योर हेड, व्हाट वाज द बॉडीली चेंजेस विच हैपेंड? और उसके बाद आफ्टर बॉडीली चेंजेस आपका बिहेवियर कैसा था? मीनिंग देयर बाय कि अगर आपको गुस्सा आता है, आपकी टोन क्या होती है, आपकी पिच क्या होती है, आपके वर्ड्स क्या होते हैं, और आपका पूरा बॉडी का बिहेवियर कैसा होता है. कभी कभी हम गुस्सा आते तो हम आगे हो जाते हैं, हमारे हाथ वगैरह वी जस्ट फोल्ड आवर हैंड्स एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स. सो इतने सारे थॉट्स के बाद आपके बॉडीली रिएक्शन क्या हुए और आपका बिहेवियर क्या हुआ। अगर आप ये सारी चीज़ें बहुत क्लियरली पेन डाउन कर सकते हैं, राइट, कुछ हद तक, तो इट मीन्स दैट यू know yourself as far as this particular incident is concerned. In fact, अगर आपको लगता है कि आपको किसी की हेल्प चाहिए, there are people around you who literally tend to see you, observe you, and maybe they have faced your anger. So अगर आपको लगता है कभी कि आपको नहीं पता चलता आप कैसे बिहेव करते हो, try to take a feedback from these people. These people can be your parents, these people can be your better half, your kids, or anybody. उनसे कभी पूछ के देखो कि what is your tone, when you are angry, what is your pitch, what is your language, what is your body, posture, or probably your body language during that time. और ये सारी चीज़ें believe me जो आपके around हैं उनको बहुत अच्छे से पता होती है, and they can always tell you. And once they tell you, you need to sit down and listen to it very carefully. Or after listening, you need to see कि whether what you have penned down about yourself and what they are telling, is it the same या कुछ difference है. अगर difference हुआ, इसका मतलब ये है you really don't know how do you behave when you are angry, or probably you don't know how do you behave when you get very emotional about something, or when you are attached, or probably when you are hurt. So ये जो emotions होते हैं, right, this is something which you should know if you have some level of self-awareness. So self-awareness is related to being aware about your emotions. Self-awareness relates to being aware about your value system. Self-awareness relates to being aware about your goals. Self-awareness also relates to being aware exactly about how do you feel at a moment, how do you behave, how your emotions work. So if you have known all these things about yourself, so you can always say that you are genuinely self-aware about yourself. So self-awareness is very, very important. And why we say very important? Because self-awareness literally helps you to understand yourself better. If you understand yourself better, you will understand your behavior. कभी कभी ऐसा होता है कि हमको ना किसी भी सिचुएशन में लगता है सामने वाले की गलती है, हो भी सकती है, बट द थिंग इज कभी हमने सोचा है किसी सिचुएशन में, कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट की सिचुएशन में हमारी भी गलती हो सकती है. सो हर एक चीज़ को समझने के लिए एक ऑब्जेक्टिव व्यू पॉइंट बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. ऑब्जेक्टिव व्यू पॉइंट एक्चुअली बताता है कि किसी सिचुएशन में आपकी कितनी गलती थी और सामने वाले की कितनी गलती थी. सो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस में आपको पता चलेगा कि आप कैसे बिहेव करते हो, and once you know how you behave, only then you can control your behavior. As I said, self-awareness will always help you to become a better person, you to know your emotions. Self-awareness will help us to improve our relationship as far as your personal life is concerned, and believe me, relationship as your professional life is concerned, because pinpointing and finding others' mistake is, believe me, very, very easy, but self-awareness will actually let you know what your mistake is, because we cannot have a control over other people, their behavior, their reactions, but we can always have a control over our behavior, our reaction, and this will only come when we know where the problem is. Self-awareness literally tells you where the problem is, right, where you went wrong. और इतना हमें अगर अपने बारे में पता होगा, हम अपने आप को इम्प्रूव कर लेंगे, एटलीस्ट हाफ ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स विल बी सॉर्टेड. सो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज़ वेरी, वेरी important. It helps us to become a better human being. It helps us to become better adjusted in the society, and it will bring a lot of peace and calm to ourselves. Because if we know ourselves, we don't have to depend, or we don't have to take a lot of feedback from other people if we are objective about ourselves and about our behavior. So self-awareness is very important, and this is the very first component of emotional intelligence. So in the next video, we are going to talk about self-regulations. Once we have understood our behavior, our reactions, we also need to understand how to, give a good direction to our emotions, so that our emotions are not acting against us, but they are acting in favor of us. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.